Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Trading with Sergio Monday edition. Welcome to Los Angeles. It's going to be pretty ugly weather next couple days, but we need some rain, so let's get it going. Yeah, welcome to Trading with Sergio. Today is do you guys see a change in my face? I'm getting my face ripped off with my one, actually, only one, thank God, but sized correctly. But probably about to throw in the towel. I've seen these movies before. Um, Getting my face ripped off with the Rigetti short and these quantum computing stocks. And JP Morgan added fuel to the fire today, saying, "Oh, they're just going to be wonderful." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. Can't be stubborn with these positions, but I'll go through my positions. I've reduced exposure quite a lot from about 10, 11 positions down to about 3, 4. Got to learn how to take losses in any market, let alone in this type of market. What is happening with, I'll have some comments about what's happening with AI and quantum computing and all that stuff. We're either at the biggest bubble in the history of bubbles, or AI is going to change lives more than anybody can ever imagine. Some of these nosebleed stocks like Oklo and some of these power generators, we'll go through them one by one, but it seems like to me there's just no limit. Sky's the limit, and I don't need to rearrange my face more than I need to. I'll trade it again, but you got to learn how to take losses. When you're on the wrong side of the trade, you got to learn how to take losses, take them like a man, and move on. Live for another day. No need to get stuck saying, because let's say Rigetti, IONQ, QUBT, QBTS, all these symbols, they're just melting up, and they don't need to melt up with me. I should have actually cut them probably on Friday, but then with what happened on Friday on the market, how do you close shorts, right? I mean, and then today, T.A.C.O trade, or is this the T.A.C.O trade like the headline says today? Is this the T.A.C.O trade or the X.A.C.O trade? You guys figure out X.A.C.O already? Xi always chickens out, or Trump always chickens out. Which one was this one? I don't know. It looks like they both chickened out on this one. Yeah, I mean, market sells off for a single day. Over the weekend, they just go hug each other and say, "Hey, I think we misunderstood each other," and then market rips. And then when the market rips, where does the money go? Immediately to the momentum stocks. There's quantum computing ones, and then big deal again. Again, the circle jerk, AI circle jerk continues. Now Avago is involved. So there's NVIDIA, OpenAI, AMD, Intel, Avago now, Oracle, right? Microsoft. We just have the circle jerk, the same amount of money going around and around. Every time it hits a door, though, it explodes. The underlying Avago up 10%. This is not a small company. It's $1 trillion company, folks. But then this is the norm. This is the new norm. X.A.C.O. Was it X.A.C.O? Okay, cool. X.A.C.O with an X, though, because the Chinese president's last name is Xi. So I think I spelled it on the headline of the live stream correctly today. T.A.C.O or X.A.C.O? Well, it looks like X.A.C.O. Okay. One of my members said it's X.A.C.O. So what we're going to do is, let me post the link if anybody wants to show up. I'll be happy to host you. So here's the StreamYard link. All I'm asking you is that you're at a quiet place with good internet reception so we don't get cut off. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. Let's talk a little bit about crypto. What happened on Friday, right? This is going to sound a little harsh or brutal, but if you're leveraged 50x, 30x, 20x, even 2x, and you're balls to the wall on Fartcoin, you deserve what you got. That's all there is to it. In my old trader days, if you're into shit, you're going to end up with shit. And I am definitely not feeling horrible about all the people who got blown up. I mean, the blood trail is from Los Angeles to New York, it looks like, especially what happened with altcoins. But I DCA'd again this morning with Bitcoin. I didn't pay 105 when it hit, but I paid like 114 and change. I'm just only DCAing into Bitcoin, but I'm trading all the proxies of Ethereum and Solana. I, in fact, increased the position on SBET because we're back under 1 MNAV, or about 0.94. So I was on TJ the Wheel Deals live stream. He put a good video out. What should be the Tom Lee premium on BMNR? Like today, Ethereum is back to where it was almost, and BMNR is not responding. So is that MNAV cracking? Or look at MicroStrategy, MSTR. Stock is hardly up today with Bitcoin at 115 last time, and it's struggling around 310, 320. Last time Bitcoin was at 115, where was MSTR? 100 points higher. So MNAV is shrinking, folks. Either you're going to trade MNAV on these things, because stop drawing these wedges and chopsticks and lines. Look, I'm a technical. I can read a chart as well as anyone on the planet, but you can't make sense of charts on these proxies of BTC, ETH, and Solana. You just can't. There's an underlying. If underlying doesn't move, if Ethereum doesn't go higher substantially, is BMNR going to go to 80? No, it's just not. In fact, they may actually shrink the MNAV, which is a little bit of happening today. If people just have this mindset, especially on X and whatever, I put a good video, actually got good traction. I go like, stop drawing chopsticks on these BMNRs and whatever. My X feed is full. For some reason, the X feed, X.A.C.O is spiting me, saying, Serge, look at this, another BMNR chart analysis. BMNR is not going anywhere. SBET is not going anywhere. My strategy is not going anywhere. DFDV, all these, DATs, digital asset treasury companies, they're not going anywhere. If the underlying doesn't move, they're not going anywhere. So the underlying being ETH, that's the dog. BMNR is the tail. Unless the tail is going to start wagging the dog, that's a different story. But what happened on Friday with the liquidation, supposedly $20 billion worth of liquidation, but I think there is a little bit of a misunderstanding there as well. Meaning people did not lose $20 billion on that debacle. When Fartcoin went from 40 cents to 3 cents in a matter of hour, they didn't lose that. So if you're on 50x and you have $100 at risk, and the market maker or the exchange liquidates you, you just lost 100, unless they screwed you on the stop and or forced liquidated you at a point that now you owe them money. But I saw a lot of blood trail. People saying, I lost million, 2 million, 100,000, 200. Well, if you're 20x on some shitcoin leverage, and you're trading pairs as well on top of Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin had the biggest, they call it candle bar, biggest bar in the history of Bitcoin on Friday. 115 high, 105 low, 20% in one single hour, 2 hours. A lot of people are blaming Trump for this, right? Oh, he orchestrated it. His son made money. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. This is all bullshit on Twitter and YouTube or whatever. This shows that Bitcoin is not that stable of an asset yet. Because this will not happen. Well, although it is happening. What can I do? What can I say? I was going to say this will not happen to a Microsoft. This will not happen to a Google. This will not happen to Facebook, or this will not happen to, Apple, let's say. But then these bars, daily bars, are becoming so large now that I don't even understand how this is working out, right? So, but yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, DCA. I'm on DCA. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in Ethereum. I think they're going to be higher over long periods of time. But when people start doing technical analysis on BMNR and say, look, it broke out. Well, okay, it was 2 days ago. They were saying, no, there's a wedge. It broke out. And then what happened now? It broke down. Now you get out. So you bought the high and sold the low. I don't understand. I really don't understand some of these people. But then not my job to fix them. My job is to make money, and today I'm getting my face ripped off. See how many people get on YouTube and say I'm getting my face. I am, because I'm short. One of the parabolic quantum computing stocks, but then my size is okay. I could short 5,000 shares of Rigetti. I'm only short 900 shares, and I sold puts they expire worthless, increase my cost basis. But I have to bite the bullet. At some point, I have to bite the bullet. I can't watch the stock go up 5-7 points every day. It just doesn't work like that. I work too hard to get to where I need to get to. And that's why I keep telling folks, I got to trade my equity. When my equity gets to a certain drawdown level, I got to close it. I got to close all the losing positions. Even the winners, I got to close. I just got to balance myself out. But, maybe we'll do that together. What else is going on? So, welcome to Trading with Sergio every Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. On Fridays, Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I have a new member. Welcome to the group, sir. I have a Telegram chat group, a bunch of cool, really folks. I don't allow too much riffraff in there, but I personally think we're the best trading group. It's small, it's about 35, 40 people at the moment. And the members only group is fantastic. They're learning how to lose with me, and they're learning how to make money with me. And hopefully they're doing better than I am today, which it seems like they are, because most of their exposure is still on the long side. Luckily, on Friday, I actually ended up making money because I had some puts for hedge, and the hedges worked out. And thank God I got out, because these sell-offs are one day. But so if you do want to join the members group, click join on the YouTube page. Send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link. So what do you get with that chat group? You get my live trades. You don't want them today, but you get my live trades as soon as I execute them. And at the end of the day, you get my full position screen, whatever I'm holding open. The other thing you get, which I think is more important than anything, because none of this is trading financial or investment advice. What I do is very risky, i.e. today with Rigetti, up 7 points. I'm short 900 shares, down $6,000. But that's how it works. You got to take the lumps. You got to take the good, the bad with it. And so what I do is risky. Do your own due diligence. I don't want any headaches later on. But the Telegram chat group gets my trades live, my positions live, obviously, at the end of the day. And also, they get to have their, like, for example, after the debacle on Friday, how many people would do that? I did an hour, almost over an hour, members live group. We put some ideas together, we put a shopping list together, and then it never got there because we gapped up this morning. But I do my best to teach them. I do my best to be present for them. And then every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, we do a members only live. And in that one, we get into the deep end of the pool and try to teach them a lot of the stuff that they're getting more familiar with, because most of them doing the basic stuff before they came over. Cash secure puts, sell cover calls, watch the stock go up 50%, and then leave all the money on the table, whatever. But so if you want to join, click join, send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com. The other thing I want to talk about before I go to the positions is, by the way, I posted the link. If anybody wants to show, please do show up, show your face. The other thing I want to talk about is I have actually today at noon, I'm very excited that my first newsletter is going out on my from my website, www.sergioavadian.com. Please go subscribe. I'm not asking for your name. I'm not asking for your phone number. I'm not selling you anything. There is a free newsletter. If you go to the website, click the blue join or subscribe, and then it's a free newsletter. So the first edition is going out today. So if you want to get it today, go subscribe right now. It's going out at noon Pacific. So every Monday, noon Pacific, I'm going to send out a free newsletter. It's going to be 4 a month. It's going to be about pretty much macro and trading and stock ideas. Some people don't even know what stocks are. I want to democratize not trading, but investing, because we know what is happening in this country and around the globe, right? We're debasing all currencies. Fiat currency is becoming trash cans, literally. So thank God U.S. still has the reserve currency status. Otherwise, God knows what would have happened to the US dollar, although it is down about 10% for the year against a basket of currencies, and that's what you just lost, 10% of your buying power. But please go subscribe and support it, and then share it with other folks, because it's a really cool interactive website. You'll learn a lot. There's already a blog with 4 articles if you're interested in reading. Yeah, I want to pay it forward. I want to teach. I want to inform, because there is a lot of misinformation on YouTube, and there's a lot of garbage on all over the internet, and it's overwhelming amount of information, right? But then, somebody speak English like a 5th grader and explain these complicated situations, right? From stocks to options to bonds to what's happening, why it's happening, macro, the stock markets, and but I just want everybody to understand that you and only you are in charge of your financial future. Unfortunately, we don't teach and educate our kids all the way through college. They should start doing it in elementary school. We teach our kids about everything, including sex and transgender stuff and this and that. Okay, cool, great, wonderful. But then why don't we teach them about finance? And we're not talking high finance, right? And we're not talking balancing a checkbook either, because I don't think anybody has a checkbook these days. But we're talking about basic stuff, right? Basic stuff like the power of compounding, rule of 72, simple things. And a lot of folks tell me, I don't have money to invest. I'm like, you don't have $10 a week to invest? You shouldn't be going to Starbucks and buying a $10 cup of coffee. Maybe you should put that in an index, regardless of where the market's at, over long periods of time. This is a given. Passive investing will beat active investing. I'm active. I have an investment account. I have a trading account. I treat them both differently, but you have to start investing. The only way to get up in this world and save your financial future is to invest, because that's what the top 1% figured out. Top 5% definitely figured it out, and which is invest in hard assets. Look at gold. Look at stock market. Look at crypto. I'm not talking shit coins. Look at all this stuff, right? Where are we? All-time highs after all-time highs. You have to invest, because inflation, unlike the government says, is not 2%. They're gaslighting you. They're lying to you. Government lies all the time. The biggest lie, the biggest farce is inflation. Oh, inflation is 2.5%. Ooh, CPI, PPI, 2.8, 2. What are we talking about here? What part of what you spend on a daily basis has not doubled over the last 5 years? Tell me one. The reason inflation is 2.8% is because the basket of goods in there is like, I don't know. I don't think we buy too many of those things. But my point in all this is, you are in charge of your financial future, and I want to help you to get there. Again, go subscribe to the newsletter on the website, www.sergioavadian.com. I am not selling you anything. I don't even care. At this stage of my life, at this age, at this point of my career, I want to get 100% on my trading account. I'm pretty close. Today, I'm dropping 5% for sure with my short. And on my investment account, I treat it differently. I want to go in for long-term capital gains, take advantage of the tax rates. But you are in charge of your financial future. Nobody's going to help you. Government's not going to help you. If your parents are rich, maybe they'll help you. But then most average Americans are not in that boat. You have to understand. You have to learn this stuff, just the basic stuff. We need to teach this stuff. We need to make this mandatory teaching in elementary school, middle school, high school. Oh my God, college. How about these college kids coming out of, with zero ideas that $150,000, $200,000 student loan that they took out for something that they studied, that's not going to get them anywhere. They're going to pay for that the rest of their life. It shouldn't be this way. People should figure out. I'm not against debt, by the way. I'm not like Dave Ramsey saying, oh, no debt. I'm like, no, debt's great. If you know how to manage debt, that's great. But I just don't understand why we cannot make this mandatory teaching at schools. Because look where people would be. Look what the average American would be. The wealth gap wouldn't be as high. I'm not a socialist. I'm a capitalist, full on. I was on Wall Street for 30 years. I'm still a capitalist. But then teach these people, move them up in the world doing that kind of thing, as opposed to, I don't know, give them an iPhone every 3 years on 3-year payment plans or some stuff like that, right? That's my goal. And, you know, I'm pretty stubborn. I will get there. I will definitely get there. And I just launched a website, so please support it. Please go subscribe. You will get a lot of good information out of it. And I am definitely not going to quit. So this is, you know, I do run a different channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. There is a crossover here, but this is the website is for everyone. It's not just for those folks. And because I am confident that what I'm saying or what I'm going to teach is the proper way of doing it without complicating things. Because finance could get complicated. It could get really intimidating, right? I mean, I can talk to you like a high school kid or a middle school kid about finance, or I can talk to you like a hedge fund manager. Well, if I do hedge fund manager, it's going over your head. You're going to get bored, and you're going to go right back to TikTok flipping. I'm like, I don't. In fact, I just opened a TikTok account. I hate TikTok. I hate TikTok. I hate it. But then I opened an account because I started posting shorts on TikTok now. Because I think maybe the younger crowd will start watching some of those shorts, say, hey, who is this old fart? This guy is kind of making sense. I just want you to understand that you need to take care of your financial future, man. Government? What government? Government. I mean, look, it's not a political thing. Government's not going to give you anything. Just throw you a bone here and there, lie to you constantly. Oh, inflation is great. Oh, really? Huh. What happened to your car insurance? Or what happened to your health insurance premiums? What happened to your rent over the last 3-4 years? What happened to housing prices? But nobody can afford to own a house. You know, a couple graduated from college, a 30-year-old. How are they affordability on housing at the lowest point ever? So what's government giving you other than take your dollars and frivolously spend it, and then they borrow another 3 trillion on top of it and spend it? I mean, we're going to be at 38 trillion national debt. Probably another 40 days. The clock is counting. Doesn't matter who's in the White House. Doesn't matter what party is here or there. This is reality, folks. Reality is you need to invest to keep pace with what's going on. I don't care how you do it. $10 a week, $20 a week, $50 a week, $100 a month. You guys know if you're like in the younger group, let's say 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. If you open a Robinhood account, simplest way, put $100 a month. For God's sakes, don't go to Starbucks 6 times a week. Go maybe 3, right? Put $100 a week in a Robinhood account. No brainer. Every Monday, every first of the month, go DCA, dollar cost average, into an index. Maybe S&P 500, triple Qs, IWM, whatever you choose, right? In 40 years, that money is going to be like $1.2 million. That's the power of compounding. It's $100 a month. But people don't understand any of this stuff. And then they go, I want to feel good today. I'm just going to go spend some money. Well, that's exactly why we're a spender society. That's how we have become no manufacturing. That's how become, 75% of GDP is consumer spending. And I watch Fred. Fred is FRED, right? Federal Reserve Economic Data. It's a free website, folks. Go check it out. Go check out what's happening to prime and non-prime car loans, how the defaults are. Go check out the borrowing that's going on. Go check out what's happening to credit card defaults. Go check it out. Is the economy what the government's saying it is at? Is it really that strong? Or is it just the top 5% benefiting from all this that's been going on? All the printing and then, money sloshing in M2 globally and the US. So these are simple things, man. But I want to teach, I want to educate, I want to inform. As long as I can, I'm going to do it. But I would appreciate your support. Just go subscribe. Start educating yourself. When we don't have family dinners anymore, we know. But let's just say I don't know. Thanksgiving is coming up. Yeah, we can talk about football, but let's talk a little bit about investing. Let's talk about, and we're not talking YOLOing. We're not talking hodling. We're not talking FOMOing, all these things, right? Long term, slowly. Now, you can put aside some money and do trading and then YOLOing. If you blow it, you're not going to get hurt. But my point in all of this is just have this the topic, have this be the topic of conversation at the dinner table. Teach your kids about crypto. Teach your kids about, and I understand a lot of you are tired. You come home from work, and then even if your kid is interested, they'll ask you, Dad, what is this and what is that? And they go, oh, I'm so tired today. Let's talk about it tomorrow. No, talk about it right there. They have an interest because they're hearing it, they're seeing it on social media. People making oodles of money, which I don't think is true, but let's say they are. Teach them about it, talk about it, because that's where I think we're failing. And then we complain. And then the Democrats go, oh, the rich have everything. I'm like, yeah, because the rich know what the fuck they're doing. The rich knew what's been going on for a decade. Actually, the rich knew what was going on since 2008, because that's when all this started, right? The rich go, okay, hold on a second. There's so much money in the system. They're printing and putting it into the system. Well, I can go borrow at really low rates and start buying hard assets. Well, if you weren't buying hard assets, you're not going to keep pace with inflation. Your money is just going to go into toilet paper. Because the dollar is losing its value 5, 6, 7% a year. In 5 years, that $100 bill that you look at nominally still says 100, but it ain't worth 100. It's worth like 65, right? So all these simple things. These are the things that I want to do. I want to teach. I want to educate, and move up to that top 20%, top 5%, top 1%. I mean, top 1% is tough, but that's what we need to do, as opposed to some other shit that we do. I don't know what we do, right? Look, man, we have a broken fiscal policy. We have a broken monetary policy. Nobody's going to do anything about it. But at least if you can read the tea leaves or trust someone to guide you the right way. Again, I'm not selling anything. You listen, you listen. You don't listen, you don't like it. Tough shit. Move on. But I'm going to explain it in an understandable manner, because I don't think anybody else is doing it. I mean, maybe there are some folks that are doing it. The same on X, they're just posting their whatever. But finance is complicated, and you need to break it down to its core level, and then start explaining people that long-term investing is a must. Without it, you're going to be left behind. And then once you're left behind, don't complain, because it was you. You need to take care of yourself. So anyway, so enough of that bullshit. So please go subscribe to the newsletter and share it with 3 people let's say. That's my ask. And the first edition of the newsletter is going out at noon Pacific today. You guys will enjoy it. All right. Good morning, everyone. Luis, good morning. Doug, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, gold and silver, hard assets. You bet. Here's my new member, Tony. I'm in gold. Absolutely. Thumbs up. Yeah. We were in that trade way before you joined. You just joined now. We were in the NUGT trade. We got out early. But GLD, yeah, I mean, look, it's an all-time high. It's a given, man. Hard assets. Don't slave harder. Save in hard assets. Because we all, the U.S. has become grind and die. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm taken care of. I'm not worried. But there are so many people who are not participating in this. There are so many people who are not participating in this wonderful economy of ours. And why not? Because there's no education. There's no information. They go like, oh, I'm happy. Verizon just gave me an iPhone with 3-year payments. Ooh, I'm going to go to Best Buy on buy now, pay later on Affirm and Klarna. I'm going to buy me an 80-inch TV so I can watch the Super Bowl. Bro, wake the F up. It doesn't work like that, man. Anyway, guys gotta get with the program. Yeah, absolutely. I see, 100% agree. Who's they, though, right? When I say that in private circles or on the internet, Like, who's they? They, everybody, the banks, the institutions, they want a dependent society. Because if you're an independent person, why would you need them? If you don't need them, politicians, right? Not necessary. Interesting, there were verified big short positions in last two entities Friday. I don't think it had anything to do with tariffs. I'm telling you, Mojo, this is not political to me, okay? It could be planned manipulation. Prove it, let him go to jail. Number one, that's not insider trading because crypto is not considered an asset because it's not a stock. SEC is not regulating crypto, right? Even if it was a stock, and it happens every single day, pump and dumps and things like that. How many people go to jail for insider trading? No, shit. Who went to jail from insider trading? Man, I was on the desk and we were doing it. Who went to jail for that stuff? Nobody. So, look, on this one, if I'm telling you, if you're 20x, 30x, 40x, 50x leverage, and you're in some shitcoin, I'm not even talking XRP now. I'm talking altcoin. And it went from $1 to a nickel in half an hour, you had it coming. That's it. Brutal. Just like on the desk. I would say that to somebody, some other trader's face. I go, what's your leverage? What's your allocation? You put your life savings into 50x leverage on Fartcoin. You deserve what came to you. Adios. Go get some more money and come back and play again. Thanks for playing. That's what I would do. Brutal. It is. But it's reality. Right? But what happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin's back to 115. Ethereum is back to 4,200. How come it didn't happen on those and then they didn't go down and tank and stay there? This is what the markets do, man. Dog eat dog in everything. Dog eat dog. Big fish will eat little fish. Manipulation, yeah. Actually, to be perfectly honest, it goes to show that the crypto markets, how many shit coins are out there? Altcoins, thousands. They're not worth the paper they're printed on, if they're printed on paper. So I feel zero. I have no heart. I mean, it's harsh probably, but I just look, man. In my trading, I know what my risk is when I enter the trade. And you know what your exit is at. But I don't go leverage 20x. I have not used margin in my trading account, I think, I don't know, since 2008. I'm not going to. It's a horrible thing. Leverage is a horrible thing. In fact, I have 3 P's that I talk about constantly, right? Patience, position size, and planning. Okay, that's for trading. The other day, I came across something on X that was useful. It was Charlie Munger's saying, how do men go bankrupt? It was the 3 L's. I didn't know about this. Maybe you all know. It's ladies, liquor, and leverage. In that order, I'm not sure. But, you know, it has brought many good men down. And so now to the three P's, I have added the 3 L's. And I'm like, luckily, I have none of those problems. I'm happily married, kids, and wonderful life, and all that good shit. Manipulation, yeah, okay. It happens every day. Cool. Somebody made a lot of money. Oh, there's this guy. It must have been Trump. He must have told his son. Somebody an hour before the tweet opened this massive account, levered 30x on shorts and BTC and ETH, and like, it happens all the time. Now, is it happening more often with the Trump administration than before? Yes. Did it happen? Well, I mean, did crashes happen under Biden with Bitcoin and other stuff? Of course it did. But it also goes to show that maybe Bitcoin is not as mature market as it is, because if you have a 20% bar in 1 hour, 115 high, 105 low, maybe it's not ready for prime time yet, because it shouldn't have that kind of volatility, right? So look, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on Ethereum, but maybe it shouldn't be mainstream yet, right? But again and again and again, if you are using leverage and you're into shit, you're going to end up with shit. Just like we say, you know, like what you put in your body is what you get out of it. I mean, you're either going to end up with type 2 diabetes or you're going to have a six-pack. That's your call, you know? To me, it's like, I'm brutally honest when it comes to these things. I have zero remorse when I say these things. None. Zero. Okay? Because that's how I ran my desk. I look at my trader, I go, what the F are you doing? Like, why are you leveraging? We use leverage all the time. But then we had risk managers, we had controls, we had all kinds of things. These people go leverage shit coins. And then they cry on X. Oh, I lost my life savings. I'm 30 years old. I blew $2 million. I'm like, good. Hopefully you learn your lesson. You have another 30 years to get it back. Because what's happening today, by the way, I have a good video coming out at noon today. What's happening today? Even in stocks. This is not normal, folks. This is not how this shit works. FYI. Okay? The rocket ship, it's not normal. It doesn't work like that. But momentum is a ridiculously powerful thing. Nobody knows when it's going to end. And then if you, like me, I shorted Rigetti at $42, it's 50 or 52, whatever. But I sized correctly. So yes, I'm getting my face rearranged, but then I'll just get out, take my loss, and then live for another day. The point I'm trying to make is nobody knows when these things are going to end, right? And when they do end, they will end badly. I can assure you. I've over 35 years, I've had a billion of these examples. When it does end, it will end very badly. It will be a bunch of bag holders crying for years. However, until they end, you know, you step up a little bit, take a shot at it. Like, you're going to say, well, why aren't you going with the direction? Why aren't you going long? Why don't you believe what's happening? That's because I've seen the movie in 30 years, like at least 20 times. It doesn't work like that. What's happening today is not normal. This is not how markets operate. And look what happened on Friday. 2.5% drawdown. Twitter is full of blood. Oh, I lost everything. I'm like, how so? You shouldn't have. Just 2.5% drawdown is nothing. Right? And that's the other thing. How many people who are on X or on YouTube have actually seen a grinding bear market? Because most people started trading in 2020 during pandemic. They're sitting home getting government money, putting into a Robinhood account. How many people have seen? And a lot of people on Twitter are like, I will never have a bear market again. Oh, I guarantee you will have a bear market. And it'll start out of the blue with no warning. And then the CNBC clowns will go, ooh, market's down 25. Officially, it's a bear market now. I'm like, okay, cool. But all I'm saying is there will be another one. They don't last that long, luckily. They last about average 18 months, 20 months. But it's brutal. It is brutal. Right? And especially if you're in 3, 4, 5 beta stocks, like these nosebleeds that are doing what they're doing now, they're going to get smashed. They're going to go down 80%. But from where? I have no idea. Am I smart enough to tell you, yes, this is the top? I'm like, no, man, I'm not picking the top. Market's making all-time highs. How could you be bearish on anything? Now, that does not mean that I have to capitulate and trade on the long side on these OCLOs and CIFRs and NBIXs and Rigettis and ARQQs and quantum computing, all this bullshit. All these companies who don't even have revenue, forget about earnings. All that stuff has gone out of the window a long time ago. Common sense left the building. Analysis left the building. We don't know. All I know is every day they go up 5, 10%. I'm like, okay, but I don't have to participate in it. I'll get my money. I'll get my bags. I'm not worried about it. But I don't have to do it that way because I don't know. Because I've seen the ugly side, the other side of the coin on all of this multiple times. Because when it ends, out of the blue, you'll be like, oh, it'll go up one day. I'm like, no, it will not go up one day. But then again, if I'm not going to participate on the upside, there is 10,000 different stocks. I don't have to be in this groupie stocks. I don't have to be. There's many things, many strategies. And that's what I tried to do in the chat group, in our members group. Bro, there's many ways to skin a cat. You don't have to, other than buying puts, because a lot of people are perma bears. Like, no, that you don't do. But the issue with all of this is not the way the markets operate. People are just used to 2% correction, buy, will go higher. It doesn't work like that. And, stocks don't go up 10, 20 points every day. It doesn't work like that. But then they're all getting priced for something. What are they getting priced for? Beyond perfection at the moment, right? I mean, you can do some fundamental analysis. Technically, they're all just ripping momentum. But fundamentally, at some point, fundamentals will be important. When? I don't know. But, corporations who are, the mother's milk of a corporation is earnings, profits. Now, most of these nosebleeds, I call them nosebleeds or parabolics, okay, forget earnings. So we can measure something like how much profit, what is the growth, like NVIDIA has profits, Apple has profits, Google has profits, okay? When you value a company at a $30 billion valuation, you're going to say, well, about going great, and the profits must be great. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. What profits? They don't even have revenue. First has to have the top line, then the bottom line. There's not even revenue on these companies. They're getting priced for perfection to Mars and back with the hope of the future. But that's how the markets work, though, right? Stocks go up first, the price moves up, and then earnings will catch up. Well, that's not happening. They just keep going higher, but they don't even have revenue to have earnings. They don't even have, they're burning cash. They don't even have revenue. What are we pricing these for? How are we pricing these things? And is this price valid? Because I believe that the stock market is the best pricing mechanism on the planet. What you see the price is your reality. You can argue with it all you want. You can create all the biases on the planet, all of it. Oh, its PE is too high, and their CAGR is this, and the Case-Shiller index is this, and then the Warren Buffett indicator is that. Nobody gives a rat's ass, man. That's the price. At that second, somebody's doing a transaction. That's the price. You don't like it? You don't have to deal with it. Turn it off. Do something else. Find another stock that you like. There's 10,000 of them out there. It doesn't have to be this crazy parabolic shit that you need to deal with. If it's irritating you and you think they're expensive, I don't know. Don't create problems for yourself. Don't say, oh, this is way too expensive. I agree, they're expensive. I think they're priced for perfection plus, 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 plus. But time will tell. Market will always take care of that. Market will always take care of that because it's the best pricing mechanism out there. Okay? So, but then you take shots because that's called trading, right? Not investing. That's called trading. You take shots. You're wrong, you get out. You're right, you take your profit and get out. But I am just saying that you don't argue, right? A lot of folks on Twitter are like, ooh, the quantum computing stocks. I'm like, yeah, they're ridiculous. That's super. Like, why is I.O.N.Q worth $30 billion? They don't even have revenue. We don't even know if this thing is real or not. So all I'm saying is, but momentum is so strong that you can't get in front of it. And it's the greater fool theory, right? I'll just buy it today. It's just like the dot-com era. I'm not truly comparable, but we're getting there. Because I was trading on the desk in the dot-com bubble. We'd be like, what the hell is going on? And it was like the greater fool's theory. I'll buy it today. Tomorrow, somebody will pay a higher price for it. That's all we're doing. Because there's no fundamentals. There's no earnings. There's no revenue. There's nothing. Hope and pray. Hopefully, it'll be higher tomorrow. And sure enough, for like years before it crashed, it was just like that. You buy today, sell tomorrow, you make 10%. In what world? Well, we're kind of very similar to what was going on in the dot-com bubble. And I'm not talking about major names. I'm talking about these companies that were trading at $2 a share. Now they're at 80 in less than a year and things like that. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. But then I was, I'm also not going to create this bias and say, oh, this is the top. I'm like, how do you know it's the top? I don't know. I mean, there are some indicators, volume. You can watch all kinds of things. You can draw some chopsticks on these things. No. Momentum is so strong that you don't want to get in front of that. Because that's a train wreck you can't get out of, especially if you make it personal. None of this is personal. Market doesn't give a shit who you are, what you know, how much money you have. Market doesn't care about any of this stuff. Just market's there to make you and me wrong, both at the same time. And you just kind of play the probabilities. And if you do have experience, you've seen the movie before. Like, I know all this is going to end badly. Am I going to be going like, oh, then tomorrow I'm buying all the index puts or whatever? No, hell no. I'm not going to get in front of the train. Maybe, like I did with Rigetti, lost like 6-8 points. I'm going to cover today. Maybe the train has left the station. Okay, so there's two ways of looking at this. This is a good analogy. You want to get in front of the train that's coming at you and try to push it back? Yeah, good luck. Or maybe you're at the station, the train is leaving, you're just running, and then grab the handle and then maybe get on it. I mean, that's about it. Because it's coming at you. Even if it's going real slow, okay, you're going to get crushed. And that's what people do. They go stubborn. Oh, it was expensive at 30. Now it's 40. Oh, now it's 50. You have no money. You're broke. I rather keep my bullets dry, take smaller risks, and take the L. You got to take the L, man. And take the L. We got to learn how to take L's. I think a great trader knows how to take an L better than any other person. And a great trader, a good trader knows how to take L's. When they get stubborn, they get like emotionally involved. I'm like, look, we don't like being wrong, but when you're wrong, you got to admit you're wrong. Okay. And you just got to take the L and put it up here and go, hey, I was wrong. Be a man. Do you think gold is taking speculative? No. Gold, all of the world, not the whole world, the central banks, everybody's buying gold. Because they're onto the game now. They're onto the debasing of the currency game, getting away from US dollar denominated assets game. But then just the gold market is small compared to everything else. But I mean, it's like protecting yourself, man. No, Bitcoin is not that big of a market, right? So, I don't know. Gold, I've been bullish on gold forever, and you have to be bullish on gold. I mean, yes, it's overextended. Yes, it's going to correct. Yes, whatever. But we're talking long periods of time, right? And because the bond market, the gold market is saying something completely different than what the administration is saying and what they want to do. They want to cut the rates. I go like, I'm not sure. Why are we cutting rates again, by the way? We're going to cut them 2 more times this year. Why are we cutting rates? Oh, maybe the economy is not as strong as people say. So why are we cutting rates when all asset classes are at an all-time high? Why are we cutting rates? If the economy is great, GDP is growing, everything's good, why are we cutting rates? Anybody? Any answer to that? There's like 75 of you here. With anything? Anybody? No? Yeah, because the underlying economy is shit. It's shit. That's the Fed. Fed is the gas pedal and the brake pedal of the economy. They're not cutting rates, by the way, because Trump is strong-arming him, saying, hey, you have to cut rates. I'm going to fire you. I'm like, no. You can call Jay Powell all the names. It doesn't work like that. Well, why are we cutting rates? When all asset classes are at an all-time high, why are we cutting rates? We're cutting rates because I personally think, my opinion, is because unemployment's ticking up. It's like a preemptive thing that we're doing. We may be slowing down, and the market is not pricing in anything like that, by the way. You guys thought Friday was bad. If market starts pricing in a slowdown, forget a recession, the R word, no way. Mark is looking at, yeah, we know we're slowing down, but maybe it'll be a soft landing. How many of you know how many soft landings has the Fed been able to accomplish over the last 3 decades? There you go. So, yeah. So there are problems, but then you can't be blind to problems. But that's why, I just get on YouTube and yak for an hour and then show my positions and get the heck out of Dodge. If you learn, you learn. You don't learn, don't learn. Okay. My member says unemployment. Yeah, unemployment is ticking up, but it's only 4.4%. But is it? Is it? Is it just like the other inflation number? Is it? The highest unemployment rate, by the way, which I feel horrible. See, those folks I feel horrible for. They have 200,000 in student loans. The highest unemployment, actually, it's double the national average at the moment, is recent college graduates. It's almost 10%. These people can't get jobs. Why? Because you went to college and studied some shit that's useless. That's definitely going to be replaced by AI. And now what? How's that going to work out? Unemployment situation rate, the real estate market. Yeah. Well, look, real estate is. I'm from the Middle East. I was born in Istanbul, Turkey. I'm Armenian, but so what do we? What did my dad tell you? Because we had very high inflation in those countries, and you just got to buy hard assets. You just got to keep pace with inflation, right? Is going to be a rug pull in real estate? Well, some places they're lowering prices, but then some other places like North Carolina, and places like that. Yes, Austin, Texas, Florida, prices are coming down, but then in other places the prices are moving up. There is a migration going on. California hasn't definitely felt any drawdown in real estate prices. So look, man, you need to get into hard assets. You need to, because that's the only way you can protect yourself. The government's going to do what they're going to do. They're going to borrow, they're going to spend. They're going to borrow, they're going to spend. Because that's the only way. This musical chairs cannot end at this point. You just can't afford to end this musical chairs. There's like 9 people in the room and there's one chair. Musical chairs cannot end at this point. Now, if you think government's going to be disciplined, they're going to put their fiscal house in order, they're going to cut the deficit, they're going to do all this. Market doesn't belong here anyway, because market's just on hopium at the moment. Because there is a really, really cool chart, direct correlation between US M2 and global M2 and what the stock markets are doing around the world. Go superimpose it on top of each other. M2 just made a new all-time high globally and in the US. What is M2? It's money supply. As long as the money supply is going this way, stocks are going to follow. All asset classes are going to follow. Well, check out periods when M2 actually went lower. Look what happened to asset classes. That was not pretty. Well, that's definitely. But then again, with the deportations, I mean, look, if you're illegal, you need to get out. But I mean, I believe. However, Americans don't want to do those jobs. You go ask a college graduate, why don't you go dig ditches a little bit until you find a job? They'll be like laughing at you because they're happy on their TikTok swiping. I'm going like, bro, you went to college for 4 years, undergrad, you study something that's shit, right? Now you're trying to find a job. You can't find it. You owe $150,000 in student loans with high interest rates. What's going to happen to you? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we did enough today. Enough damage. Anybody want to come on? So let me remind all of you, please, here's my website, www.sergioavadian.com. These are the types of things I'm going to talk about. I don't want your money. I'm not selling you anything. I don't want any. I don't want your name. I just want an email address. Then, in fact, today, if you're still in time, noon today, the first newsletter is going out. There's already 4 articles on the blog. It's a cool website. Go check it out. If you enjoy it, please pass it on. Please subscribe to the free newsletter. You're going to get 4 a month. It's going to be something for everyone. Beginner. It doesn't not just about trading, not just about stocks, macro. Start educating, learning, power of, compounding, rule of 72, all these things. Simple things that you get going. But you got to start. So I'm trying to do that. And so that's one. Wednesday, I'll be back for trading with Sergio. I'll go to the positions limit. I only have 4 left, and they're all absolutely hammering me today. But then we take the risks and we deal with it. Although my investment account is doing really well. But hey, have a balance. Yeah, so let's go subscribe to that. Nobody wants to come on. It's kind of a shame. I wish somebody came on and kept me company. I don't know why you guys are all so shy. Here's the StreamYard link. I'll spend another 15 minutes maybe. But yeah, folks. So no Bloody Monday. And I'll go back to the title of today's live stream. Was this the T.A.C.O trade or the X.A.C.O trade with the X? So we know what the T.A.C.O trade is. But now we have a X.A.C.O trade. G always chickens out. Get it? I like it. I made that up over the weekend. All right, let's see where we are. Ooh, Rigetti keeps melting up. We're just becoming ridiculous at this moment. Yeah, it's become quite. Yeah, we can't be stubborn in this. We got to take our losses on these things. Okay. Where are we? Let's go to the positions. I was in this takeover. I closed my SBAT, took another L there. ASST, Strive Inc., Vivek Ramaswamy's company. I should have done the arbitrage more than anything else. Should have, would have, could have. I have a just called debit spreads going out to January 2027. Buying 2.5 calls, buying 5 calls, and selling 10 calls. That's all I got. I have 40 put credit spreads expiring, hopefully worthless, on MSOX, which is the 2X ETF of MSOS. MSOS is the cannabis ETF. At least that's a profitable position, obviously. I put them on at 80 cents. They're down to nothing almost, but then I have 4 days. They're expiring this Friday. I am short 900 shares of Rigetti, about 42.53. Shit, I got to take an $9,000 loss there. And last but not least, I am in SharpLink Gaming, SBET. I'm long 2,000 shares. I'm long 20 calls. I'm short 30 put credit spreads going out to January of 2026. And those are the 4 positions I have. That's it. I added actually to SBAT this morning. I added to the book credit spreads. I think I did them at like 145. Those are the short to 15 puts, long to 12.5 puts. And MSOX will expire worthless on Friday because I have those are 7. I'm short to 7 puts, long to 5 puts. Put credit spread, as if you may or may not know, you sell the higher, you're closer to the money, strike, put, and buy for protection. That's why most of these trades are defined risk trades that I put on, especially on SBET, BMNR, DFDV. I want to actually do DFDV or SOLT. DFDV only moved up quite a bit, 1567. Okay. Solana, SOLT, 2X ETF of Solana up to 21. Okay. Well, where's BMNR? Let's drill some chopsticks on BMNR. BMNR is up 2.5. People are going to go, ooh, look at this thing. I think MNAV actually is coming out on BMNR. Strategy. MNAV is getting crushed on this thing. It's down to, I think, less than 1.2. And I don't want to go through too many charts, but if you guys want me to, maybe. Actually, hold on a second. Hold on a second. SPX, I mean, big old candle down, bouncing back halfway. Yeah, not bearish. Don't look bearish to me. Same thing with triple Q. Same thing. Are we going to go make an all-time high right away? I don't think so. But TLT, inverse ETF of 20-year note. So over the last month or so, interest rates have gone down. And but let's look at some of these nosebleeds. IONQ, Up only 12 points. Jesus. RGTI. Oh, up only 9 points. Look at these things. Holy shit. Yeah. It will end bad, but I don't have to partner. This is the crazy ones that are OCLO. OKLO. At 173, worth about 30 billion. Honestly, I don't even think they have the plans for their small nuclear plant yet. I know they don't have a dollar's worth of revenue. Maybe they have 5 million in revenue and 5 billion in market cap. I cannot even say they're expensive or price to sales. There's no sales. So I'm like, okay, cool. People are just momentum. NBIS is another one. IREN is another famous one on internet or X, just going higher and higher every day. Oh, open, that's probably melting up too now. Oh no, that's down today. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these things are just like QUBT is qubit up to 21, QBTS, D-Wave Quantum up 8, new high. Hey, look where these things were, by the way. They were like, QBTS was like 95 cents. We're at 41. Rigetti, not even a year ago, by the way. Rigetti was 79 cents. Now it's 54. I'm not familiar with this game. But then they keep ripping. They're stuck on the Bollinger upper band. They, not too many stocks, by the way, get up to like 3x of their 200 EMAs. So, some of these are there. Like Oklo is there. I'm pretty sure it's there. Yeah, no, Oklo is a double and a half, but some of the other ones are there. Yeah, it's just. But what are you gonna do? When you're wrong, you gotta take your hit. You gotta take your L and move on. There's no crying in this game. You put the trade on. You face the consequences. You take your L's, you take your W's, and hopefully you made some money at the end of the year. It is the game that we're playing, and I like it. I still enjoy it. It's still pretty cool. So, and Semler Scientific, I had a synthetic on. Actually, ASST is buying Semler Scientific, but then now it's trading at below its buyout level, 21 shares. Well, 21 times $1.10 is like 23. Stock is 26 and a half. So yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, don't want to deal with shit. Clean up. Start. A couple of months left to hit my target. I'm pretty sure I will. Hopefully, I will. It won't happen by shorting Rigetti, that's for sure. RGTZ. Yeah, RGTZ is 10 and change. So that's the 2x inverse ETF of RGTI, by the way. So yeah, I think I'll buy some of that and cover the short. I want to be short, but I don't want to be short blindly. And IONZ is the 2 inverse ETF of IONQ. That's down to 210. Wow, look at these moves on these inverse ETFs, down 38%. I kind of like actually bull. 2x ETF, and that is BULQ. There are a lot of stocks I'm following. Some of these eVTOL stocks, yep, they just kind of turn. Archer and Joby. There's a lot. There's like 80 stocks on my watch list. A couple of them may have gotten there. BZAI is one. I think that's like a buy point. Resolve is another one. But if you have any questions, put it up. I'll answer it. I'll go have a cup of coffee. Open is definitely interesting. There is a huge cult following on this thing. It's actually, I'm shocked that it's down today. Oscar. Yeah, that's bouncing. We were going to all buy that at 18.5 range. Although on Friday after hours, when there was a massacre and that they all got there. If you were there, you made some money. If you were not there, then you didn't make anything. SBET. I like SBET. I like it more than BMNR, honestly. When they're under 1 MNAV, they're buying their shares back. When they're above, they're doing ATM sales, buying more Ethereum. Am I bullish on Ethereum? Yeah, long term. But don't start drawing lines on these things. on their own. On their own, they're not going anywhere unless Ethereum is going. If Ethereum is not going anywhere, none of these are going anywhere. If Solana is not going anywhere, none of the proxies are going anywhere. So don't fool yourself, folks. Don't listen to some shit and then be in trouble. Anyway, all right. Much love. Hopefully you guys are going to go check out the replay because I think the first hour was pretty cool. Maybe first 45 minutes. I threw a lot at you folks, but it is what it is. So I'll be back on Wednesday, trading with Sergio on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Friday, Power Hour, members live, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday. What else? Oh, my website. Please check it out. Subscribe to the free newsletter. First edition going out at noon. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel with a thumbs up. Supposedly helps the algo. I'm not in it for clicks. There's no money in YouTube. I just want to pay it forward, inform, and educate. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, tough shit. Tough love here. But yeah. Oh, and that's it. I think I'm done. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. And let me go take care of my wound on one of my, not one, the only short I have on that's ripping my face off today. I have to take care of that. I can't let it sleep like that. Because tomorrow I could be up another 6 tomorrow. But I don't want to play that game. No emotions involved. Only sanity. You want to sleep well? Get rid of your losers. All right. See you guys Wednesday. Adios.